Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we're going to be talking some MLB, a little bit of what went on last night. Come here, son. Come here, son. My son and I, we were here. As fathers and sons, man, something that they share together is the love of sports. Whether it's NBA, MLB, whatever it is. Come here. This is my son right here. Get in the camera, brother, so they can see you, man. Yeah. This is my son right here, man. Tyler. This is the one who you saw had 9 points, 11 boards, like 3 blocks, 2 assists in that game. Yeah, this is my big boy, right? So, all right, go ahead. So, this kid is the most unlucky kid I can ever. Let me tell you something. All right. When I was a kid, y'all know my struggle being a New York Knicks fan. And when I was a kid, my dad says, "Yo, I can't take you to any more Knicks games because every time I bring you, they lose." So it was a joke in my family that if you want to see the Knicks win, do not bring me to the game when I was a kid. So a couple of years back, was it the year before last, something like that? I bring this kid to a game, right? We go to Atlanta. I strategically pick a game that I really felt like the Knicks had a good shot of winning, so that he could see the Knicks win. I could convince him to be a Knicks fan. I want to be a Yankee fan. I want to be a Giants fan. All of these things. Are you a fan of these teams? Okay, he is. Good. So take him to Atlanta with me. We have a great time. Have a ball. We go to Hooters. We have a good time there. We get to the game. And the Knicks are kicking the shit out of the Atlanta Hawks. I'm talking 18-point lead. Sorry for cursing, son. And they are destroying them. Melo is on fire. I mean, they're shooting the rock. It's all good. Well, out of nowhere, the tables turn in the third quarter. Next thing you know, the Knicks blow an 18-point lead. The kid is crying. It's horrible. We are pissed. And I look at him and I say, son, as a Knicks fan, you're going to have to accept the fact that you might not ever see him win. So he looks at me and he says, well, Dad, tears is in his eyes. He said, man, the Heat win all the time. I said, no. You can't be a Heat fan, sir. You can't. You cannot be a Heat fan, man. God. But we weathered that storm, man, and he is a Yankee fan today. And we set up another opportunity for the Yankees to show that they are the team that I should pass down to my son, that my son does have, is linking up to royalty if he wants to be a part of the Yankees and our fandom. If he wants to join us here, I give the Yankees another shot. Me and my son sit up till 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. And oh my God, a routine fly ball. And not to mention, they killed my parlay with that bullshit. Look at my parlay. My parlay was on point, bro. I had the Chicago White Sox. They win. I had the Washington Nationals. Yes, the Colorado Rockies made me sweat, but it came through. Okay. The Kansas City Royals. Yes, that was good. The last team I needed on a $5 parlay to win $109 was my New York Yankees, man, and they blew it. Now, while we're talking about this, I gotta tell you, man, over the last few days, man, I've been working on a few things, right? And what I've been doing, man, is I have been betting straight team what I really like with no influence from anybody else. I have been betting, but I've got something for that though. I got something to tell you from that though, Josh Dewey. Josh Dewey said that Rhino DFS system would have told me to take the A's. I'm gonna tell you about that because guess what I did? I played the plays that I wanted. $5 on Bovada, $5 on Betonline, right? So I got $10 invested. Well, actually $3 in Betonline. So I've got $8 invested in this 5-game parlay. Okay, so I'm at a point in the night where no matter who does what, I'm gonna make some money. No matter because I stacked the A's. We talked about those cats in the first class. I stacked the A's right here. Alonzo, Lowry, Pinder, Chris Davis, Roger Davis. I had an A's stack. So what I was able to do, I was able to hedge in so many different spots based off of my Bovada bets that no matter what happened at the end of the night, I was going to be profitable. It cost me $8 on Bovada and Bet Online to guarantee that I was going to win over here. Now, if the Yankees did win the game, and let's just say these guys didn't do well over here, well, guess what? Guess what? I would have won $200 on my Bovada bets. So and this is why I want you all to get into this, because you know what, this is what it is, what it is, bro. It is what it is. They don't want us to use the G word when we talk about DFS. They don't want us to use the G word, but let's just keep it real. It's the G word. It is. They don't want us to use the G word, but it is. Okay. And I'm not going to say it because it's just bad to say the G word when we talk about DFS, but that's just what it is. Okay. So, one thing that the betting does, the parlay betting, the straight betting, what it does is, man, we are sharper than the average person because we're not just betting on teams, and we're not just betting on on names, or just oh, the Yankees and the Cowboys and the Jets. We're not just betting on that. We actually know the players. We know everything about these teams. You know why? Because we play DFS, and I think that our DFS knowledge really can help us out when it comes to our online betting stuff, like our Bovada bets and our Betonline or whatever site that you may use. So I want to issue a challenge to you to incorporate that in your arsenal, man. Get on there, deposit whatever it is you have to deposit. I've got a link that's going to be posted. It's actually posted in the VIP. I'm going to post it as well on YouTube for you to jump into that, and it's going to cause you to take a more closer look at the money lines. It's going to make you take a closer look at what the bets are and how all that works. It's very solid, man. And I'm so surprised that somebody like me wasn't on this quite some time ago, because guess what? No matter what, you can always cover your back. Say I like to do a 5-team parlay. I'm gonna rock with a 5-team parlay, and I'm stacking all damn near all 10 of them teams, almost damn near. I'm stacking the bulk of those teams because I run multiple lineups. I'm gonna run between 5 and 10 lineups every day. So I grab those games. I stack the teams in there that I really really like, and some are gonna be some are gonna be contrarian plays like that. And that's gonna put you on more plays. So this can help your DFS game all together. I'm telling you, man. Get in there, bet online. Don't go turkey ham, and we need to send you to some Gamblers Anonymous class or something like that. I'm just saying it does help you in terms of your hedge life. Your hedge life can be good either way, because no matter what happened in that game, I stood to win some money because I had the A's stack. Which, just because I had the A's stack doesn't mean that because the A's could have still lost that game, and I could have won on Bovada. You see what I'm saying? So I had the A's stack, I had the San Francisco Giants stack, but I picked the Rockies to win the game. See, that's when it works out perfectly. I had the Rockies picked to win the game, but the Giants went out and scored 8 runs. I had a Giant stack. We talked about that in the line drive at 5. So hedge life is the only life, man. And if you're going to be a part of this thing, you might as well go all the way and do it. It ain't no sense of just playing DFS. Get into the bet online, the Bovada, stuff like that, and that can definitely increase your bankroll, your overall bankroll. Because y'all know, like I say, man, you got to have many ways to get paid. So let's go ahead and do it now. Let's go ahead and talk about the exploits of today. Issued out my tweet, man, that I do just about every day when I have a slate that I really really like and want information on. The question was, who will be tonight's gang stack of the night on the MLB main slate? We had coming in first with the Colorado Rockies, of course, because it was Coarse Field. They were in a solid spot against Matt Moore. You knew that they were going to be pretty much the chalk, okay? Then you had the Boston Red Sox, who a lot of people were on, and I can tell you, I really wasn't. I liked a couple of guys in the back of the order more than I liked the top of the order. I just did not like the Red Sox a lot today. Now, I knew Chris Sale was going to be in line for a decent performance, but I just did not like the Red Sox. And Nick Pivetta did sneak by me. He most certainly did. I was on the Washington Nationals as a stack. I had those guys in there. The Detroit Tigers were 7% in this particular graphic. I like those guys a lot. I had them. So no one, yes, yeah. No. Nobody nominated the A's. Nobody was like, yeah, man, you should think about the A's. No, nobody. Nobody talked about the A's. And that's a team that we talked about a lot in the line drive at 5. I covered those teams. I talked about it a lot. So that was what happened. I like the Detroit Tigers. Yes, that was a good one. The Rockies were a good one, and the Nationals were a very decent stack. So Pretty decent night for me, man. Made a little bit, so did not lose anything. That's good. We're gonna keep it rolling. We got a 15 game slate popping off on Friday. We're gonna be working, of course, from RotoQL. I'm gonna default to the season average projections because, of course, as you know, this is a paid service. This is their stuff. I can't do that. But we're gonna be rolling through this game by game. Let's go ahead and take a look over on DK though. Let's take a look. Take a look on DK. And we're going to create lineups here. Because we're going to break down the entirety of the slate. Okay, so we got 15 games at 7:05. Okay, we've got a 2-game turbo at 7:35, a 5-game turbo at 8:05. We got 3 games at 8:40 in the night, and of course 2 games in the late. So we've got some good ones going. We ready to rock. Blow this up a little bit. And we're going to be working from all day, the 15 game slate, the main joint. Now, first thing you see, Tone, look, what's happening, big homie? First thing you're going to see Max Scherzer, Severino, Carlos Martinez, Carrasco, Alex Wood, James Paxton, Quintana, Straley. The Shark is on there, Patrick Corbin. So this is a really solid pitching slate, which it can't be anything else this large in a 15 game slate. First things first. Individual player ownership goes out of the window. I want you to focus your mind more so on stack ownership. Don't even think about individual player ownership. It doesn't really matter. What we're talking about is stack ownership. Even with pitchers, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It's about stack ownership for a state like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going for RotoQL, of course. I'll be going back and forth from the DraftKings website from RotoQL just to make sure that they have the right pitching prospects listed on the slate. The first game we got is, and in the first class, what we're doing, we're going to be talking about pitching because a lot of people are doing shows right now. They talk about batter plays. You should play this guy. You should play this guy. Blah, blah, blah. But you don't know shit. You don't know. You don't know what's happening until the actual batting orders come out. And that's something else that I've noticed too is the reason why a lot of these late games are not going to be rostered is heavy. Like last night when we saw the Kansas City Royals, the Angels, the Yankees. Those late 3 games were kind of at a low ownership. It's because the orders don't come out until late. Like by the time Edwin Neves, what's up, big homie? By the time the orders come out, the lineups have already locked to a certain degree. So you're just not going to see the same ownership on those guys. So you can always get those guys in the later games at lower ownership. That's just something to throw out there for you. So the first game we've got is the St. Louis Cardinals and the Baltimore Orioles here. This is a 23% chance of moderate rain, 70 dew point, 77% humidity, 4 mile per hour wind, 78 degrees. We got Carlos Martinez and Kevin Guzman on the mound. Let's go over and check over on DraftKings just to be sure these are the correct. Yes, it is. Now, taking a look here, Carlos Martinez has been very good over the last couple of starts. I believe we're going to open him up. And I think he's been pretty decent. Yeah, 48 in that last one. I think that was like a complete game he pitched. 18, 33, 23, 28. Dude's kind of found his stuff, man. And against a team like the Baltimore Orioles, a team that sit very high in K rate. I'm talking 8th in the league in K rate, 23.8% with a 181 ISO and a 314 WOBA over the last 14 days. This is a guy that is has strikeout potential that could really get a lot of these guys out fast and roll through this order a couple of times over. The only problem that you may have in this spot is this is also a high ISO team. This is a team full of ogres. Okay, so these guys are either striking out or swinging for the fences. And you know, with that short porch out here in Camden Yards, man, this is definitely a hitter's park. So take your chances with Carlos Martinez. He's a guy that just because he's so good, I am gonna give him some consideration. But Kevin Guzman is a virtual Shelly easily. So playing some of the St. Louis guys against him is not going to be any issue at all. Taking a look here at what they do, they've been pretty disciplined at the plate toward the middle pack of the league. When you look at K rate at 22.1%, not hitting the ball for a ton of extra bases at 151 with that ISO, 314 WOBA. So while they don't scare me, you know, it doesn't scare me to attack them. I'm not going to do it with a guy like Kevin Guzman. That just doesn't make sense. as a smaller park, these guys can get it in. Okay. Next game we got, a great point came up from the homie, man. Josh Dewey says, some of these elite pitchers are going to get hit, and it's going to have to happen because so many of the elite pitchers are playing. There's not going to be a bunch of 0-1, 2-1 scores like we saw yesterday with the Boston Red Sox. Okay, so a bum goes out and pitches for the Red Sox, man, or David Price goes out and pitches for the Red Sox, and they give him 6, 7, 8 runs and run support, 10 runs and run support. They have a bona fide ace, Chris Sale, goes out, gives them 8 killer innings, 7, 8 killer innings. The dude is like second in the league in innings pitched per game, and they give him absolutely no run support. That is the weirdest thing. That is the weirdest. It's like the bats, like, oh, Chris Sale ain't gonna let them score, so we ain't gotta do too much. No, motherfucker, hustle, run, score some runs. Pissing me off. They killed another one of my parlays. So we got the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Arizona Diamondbacks are again away from home. That's always a concern for a lot of people whenever you don't see the Diamondbacks at the crib, because their home road splits are really, really, really good. Really, really good. Okay? And you take a look here to make sure that these are the correct Corbin and Nola. Okay. And Nola has been fairly decent lately. You would take a look at him at 6.3, 13-28 in his last 2 starts. If you got to start somebody cheap, and you got to get that starting pitcher too, he's a guy that you can take a look at. For me, Patrick Corbin in this spot is most certainly attackable, especially once we see some of those right-handers from the Philadelphia Phillies move up the order to kind of take shots at Corbin first. I don't have an issue there. He's not a pitcher that I would want to play at all on this slate. The next game we got is the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. We got Eddie Butler and Trevor Williams on the mound. Let's go ahead and make sure that those are the guys we have. Most certainly they are. Now, Eddie Butler, he had that one killer start when he first started. It was 24.5. But since then, man, the best game he's had was against Miami at 20.35. So not a guy that I think I can use. The slate is just not big enough for me to rock with him, man. And I think Pittsburgh can get to him. Trevor Williams, on the other hand, at 5.4. Not going to play him against the Cubs. His best start of the season was 18.35 against the New York Mets in New York. I'm just not big on those guys. I'd much rather take some bats in the spot. Much rather take some bats in the spot. Yeah, I like Nola. I think Nola can be a solid starting pitcher too. Next game we got is the Chicago White Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. We got Jose Quintana priced down at 7.9K and Joe Biagini at 6.9. I want to take a look at the Toronto Blue Jays, man. It seems to me like they've been slumping some. I want to see where they sit as far as K rates over the last 14 days. They're right here 10th in the league in K rate, 23.2% with a 173 ISO, 306 WOBA, and it will be just my luck that when I get off of them, they go out and they play very well. So Quintana does deserve consideration in the spot just because his K upside is so phenomenal. But at the same time, man, the lefty-righty matchups you're going to see here with some of the Toronto Blue Jays and them not looking great as of late, but having a chance to really bounce back against Quintana, I think that can be considered as well. I mean, this dude right now, he could be one of those swing pitchers. And plus, we know that the Toronto Blue Jays are much better at home than they are on the road. So we can definitely take a look at that in the line drive at 5 today later on. So let's make sure that we've got the right guy here, because Biagini should be there. Yes, we do have Biagini here. And I'm going to pull him up and take a look at what he's been doing over the last few. 6.9K for Biagini, 15, 22, 18. Pretty decent in his last 3 starts. Although, the White Sox, man, are becoming one of those teams. The White Sox are becoming one of those teams that you can kind of play under any circumstance. So number one, nobody is going to be on them as a stack. Nobody really likes to play them. They're a very scrappy team. Depending on when you look at when their starting order come out, when you look at when their order comes out, you can kind of look at it and tell if this is going to be one of those White Sox games where they're going to be scrappy and they're going to play. And it's not that the players are different. it's the positioning of the player. I think this team changes a lot, man. This team definitely changes a lot. So once the order comes out, I'm going to take a closer look at them, and then I'll decide whether I can play Joe Biagini or not. So the next game we got is going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. We got Alex Wood at 9.1, Tim Allen at 5.2. Wood should have had a very nice performance last time, man. Kind of got messed up in Cincinnati. But before that, 28, 23, 33, and 35 in his last 5 starts. So that's very decent. You've got Tim Adelman here at 5.2. Not a guy that I would like to play at all against the Dodgers. The Reds have been struggling, and I think against lefties, they are also they're also an attackable squad against lefties. The Reds, that is. So Alex Wood does deserve some consideration for us here on tomorrow. Next, we got the Tampa Bay Rays and the Detroit Tigers. We got Erasmo Ramirez and Daniel Norris. I'm going to go over the DraftKings just to make sure that these are the correct guys we got here. Yes. Probably won't play Wood. Reds much better at home. That's coming from Josh Dewey. We've got Erasmo Ramirez at 5.7, 10, 7, -4, 14, 13, 22 in his starts this season. Not much to look at. You've got Daniel Norris here at 6.8 in a 10-run total. This game does have a light possibility of delaying or raining out. We got 6-mile-per-hour wind coming back toward the batter box, 12% chance of light rain with a 78-degree temperature here. You know what? I think this can be another one of those situations where we can, load up on some of the Detroit bats here. So I don't love Erasmo Ramirez much. Some of the right-handed power that you might see for the Tampa Bay Rays is going to be in order for me, as I do not love Daniel Norris either. Both of those pitchers are not going to be in my lineups either. Next game we got is the New York Mets and the Washington Nationals. Believe it or not, the Mets are not very good at home. Well, they're worse at home. They're better on the road. And, you couple that with the fact that Max Scherzer, man, is a lights-out pitcher. And see, I can pay up for pitching on states like this. I mean, consistently. I did have, I ran some optimals with the group yesterday and ended up, Sale popped in a couple of them. Actually, Sale Pavetta popped up in most of them. It was either Sale Pavetta or Sale Strom. Both would have been really good pitcher combinations because we just didn't see a lot of great pitching under those guys or in between that. In between Sale and Strom, Sale and Pavetta, you just didn't see a ton of great pitching there. So that would have been good. But, on a big slate, 14-game slate, I can pay up for pitching because the value that I like to see is going to be there in some way, shape, or form. So Max Scherzer to me, man, of course, the top pitching option on the slate and a guy that I'm going to have a lot of exposure to. We've got Steven Matz here at 7K. I don't love the lefty-lefty matchups for guys like Bryce Harper and Daniel Murphy, but I think there's some other bats that I can definitely chop up when it comes to some of the righties from Washington. I don't have an issue there. And, of course, I'm not going to play any of the Mets there. I just think Max Scherzer is just too good to even try to test that way. I'm not going to do that. Next game, we got the Miami Marlins and the Atlanta Braves. We got Dan Straley and Sean Newcomb. Newcomb was pretty good. Newcomb was pretty good last time. And we jumped all over him, man, with the help of the homie Jeremy Ladd, who gave us some solid information about about Sean Newcomb. We knew to play him, and I did, man, and it worked out quite well for us. So the price is up to 6.5. He was pretty good last time, man, and against the Marlins, in Atlanta, maybe this is a guy that you can have consideration, especially if you're going to be paying up for your starting pitcher one. You can grab Newcomb at 6.5. The book is really not out on him yet. He's still a young pitcher, so I kind of like him. I kind of like Newcomb, especially you look at some of the better parts of the Miami order, guys like D. Gordon, Christian Yelich, Dietrich, Riddle, all of those guys, being lefties there. I'm sure we're going to see Giancarlo Stanton and Marcell Ozuna in quite a few lines, but I kind of like Newcomb. I don't have an issue with him at all. I think he's playable to me. I hate to start pitchers against the Braves when they're at home, even though I do like Dan Straley most times. He's not a guy that I'm going to be very interested in today either, but I do like Sean Newcomb here. I think he can give you a lot of value there. Next guy we got, he said, Jeremy Ladd says, I don't know about this time. Those that missed last time will hop on it. Next game we got is going to be the Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers. We got James Paxton here and Tyson Ross at 5.5K. Let's go and check out the DraftKings to make sure these are the correct plays we got. Yes, Tyson Ross and James Paxton. Don't have a lot of information on Tyson Ross. Maybe Josh Dewey, a Texas guy, can give us a little information on him. But Paxton, man, Paxton has been pretty decent. Now, he had that one tough start last time. We scored 0.4 against Toronto. But before that, 12, 26, 16, 34, 9, 38, 32. So he's been really, really good or really, really bad. And I think, he's a guy that you can take a look at, especially most of the power is going to come from those left-handed bats from the Texas Rangers. And I think, Paxton here in this spot, this is going to be one of those spots where you can not only play Paxton, but you can play a collection of the Seattle bats against Tyson Ross here. So, I've got no issue with that. I will pencil Paxton in and take a closer look at him in the line drive at 5. The next game we got is going to be the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros. You got Mike Fiers and Drew Pomeranz. Give me the bats in this spot, man. I'm not going to attack Paxton on the 15-game slate. I'm not. But Drew Pomeranz, Mike Fiers, I would just jump on the batting in this spot. It's a 9-run total here, 12-mile-per-hour wind in the dome, 0% chance of rain, 72 dew point, 86 degrees. You know what? I would just take my chances. I would be like, yo, a lot of people are not gonna want to play. A lot of people are not gonna want to play Boston after what happened yesterday. And I think that's going to be a mistake. I can play these guys. I want nothing to do with pitching on both sides. I can play some bats in this spot. Next game we got is going to be the San Diego Padres and the Milwaukee Brewers. You got Miguel Diaz and Junior Guerrera on the mound. Let's take a look and make sure these are the right guys. Yes. Miguel Diaz, man, his last start, 4.1 fantasy points. We attacked that. We knew better. You got Junior Guerrera here at 6.2, 8, 7.25, 21, 17, and 9.5. And I know a lot of you are going to agree with me, man. Miller Park is a really good place to hit the ball. We got 10-mile-per-hour winds here, 2% chance of very light rains. Dome doesn't really matter. And, this Padres order, man, has been pretty decent lately. Now, they've been striking out still, but they've actually been better, hitting the ball a lot better, hitting for extra bases. Same situation here with the Brewers. So if you want to call this a game stack, I really think you can. Miller Park is like the 3rd best park for hitters in the league. You look at Coarse, you look at Chase, and then you want to go to Miller Park after that. So I kind of can get behind a lot of these cats. Let's take a look. The San Diego Padres here, 28.9% K rate, 199 ISO. That's very high for a team that strikes out that much. That kind of puts them on a level to where either they're striking out or hitting jacks. 338 WOBA. This is over the last 14 days. This has picked up. Yeah, Pirello and Cordero has been really good for those guys over the last few games that they've been playing. Now, we're looking at the Brewers, who sit right under them in K rate, 27.5% K rate, 175 ISO, 312 WOBA here. So I think both of these teams are playable, and neither pitcher is a pitcher that you can play in this spot. I really don't. I mean, well, let me take that back, because the funny thing is, one of these teams are going to be the strikeout team. The other team could be the home run team. And you can see one team live up to their ISO and one other team live up to their K rate. You can see both teams live up to their K rates, and both pitchers have decent games. You can see both teams live up to their ISOs, and it should be a ton of runs. I'm going to roster according to both of those things, okay? Thames was nice today. He did a damn thing. That home run, that was big. This game we got Cleveland Indians and the Minnesota Twins. We got a 9% chance of light rain here. 5-mile-per-hour wind going up towards center field. 77 degrees is going to be the temperature here. 55 is the dew point. This game does have a possibility of raining out or delaying. We got Carlos Carrasco and Nick Turley. I want to check on this for sure, just to make sure. Yes, Carlos Carrasco, Nick Turley here. Carrasco, man, has been trending down, man, since that big start he had to the season. I'm talking about he started off 23, 25, 15, 35. Last 30-point game was the 9th of last month. Since then, 4, 11, 26, 1, 14. Not very good starts you saw from Carrasco. So, he's going to be off of the table for me, man. He's going to be off of the table for me. And I'm not going to play Nick Turley at all. I don't love a lot of the Cleveland bats, even after what happened yesterday with the 12 runs. It's tough. This is gonna be a tough one, and I am gonna like. I think Carrasco can be a guy that if I'm not playing him, man, I might as well attack him. And we're gonna get into that in the line drive at 5 most assuredly. Next game we got is the San Francisco Giants and the Colorado Rockies. Antonio Senzatella at 7.2. I like him. Jeff Samardzija at 7.5. I kind of like him too. This is an 11-run total. I don't think it lives up to that. I think one of these guys are going to be the pitcher you can play in Coarse and be completely fine, and they get you 20 to 30 DraftKings points. I don't see Coarse going lit like it did today. I don't see that. I really don't. We're probably not going to have Buster Posey. Probably not going to have Eduardo Nunez. Both of those guys got injured. The only thing that kind of Samardzija has been weirdly good in Coarse. That's right. So I'm gonna have some Samardzija lineups maybe, and I'm gonna have some Senzatella lineups just because I think that this game does not live up to that 11-point total. Remember, we haven't seen that all year long. We haven't seen, oh man, every time Coarse opens up, the floodgates open. It hasn't been like that. Now his last game against Colorado in Colorado, he scored 4 points. The last time against Colorado at home, he had 18.85. Senzatella, and let me find out what he did in those same spots against San Francisco. He had 15 in San Francisco, and he had 20.75 at home. And I'm definitely sure I played him. So I do like Senzatella. I think we can get behind Samardzija in some spots. I'm not going to be as in love with the bats as we all were today. Okay. Next game we got is my New York Yankees and the Oakland A's. The Yankees, man, 3-game losing streak out west, man. Horrible, man. You got Luis Severino here at 11.5. Sean Manaea, 7.3. Give me some of them Yankee bats, most assuredly. Severino, 11.5. Pretty high price for him. But look, over the last 5 starts, 31, 20, 27, 33, 18.5. Pretty decent. And I kind of like him. Christopher Marie feels me. I kind of like him. I like him in the spot. I'm going to open up Sean Manaea here. 20, 23, 33, 32. Been really decent, really solid lately. Against any other team, it'd be all systems go, but just not against these Yanks, man. I think the Yankees can come out and score a ton of runs. I'm not going to be on Manaea. I'm just not. That's just not where I'm at tomorrow. That's not where I'm at tomorrow at all. Give me some Severino here. Next game we got is going to be the Kansas City Royals and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We got Jesse Chavez at 6.1 in his last start, -2, 15, and 18. Not extremely horrible, but not very good. Then we've got Ian Kennedy here at 6.4. I think we can go back. I think we can go back to Kansas City in this spot, man. I really do. Jesse Chavez is a guy that can get hit and get hit hard. So, don't love the pitching here. Not Ian Kennedy or Jesse Chavez. I think I would like the Kansas City bats. We had some word on Manaea in his last start against the Yankees. Let's check it out, see what he did. 32.75, and that was in Yankee Stadium. He had that really good game against them. So that would be something to take a look at. But I just, after the loss they took last night, man, he's talking about don't let the bias sway you. Yeah, but after what happened last night, that loss last night, I think they come back, bro. I think the Yankees come back, and I think they hit them hard. And let's be real. I mean, your boy got shut down. I mean, he got stopped, and he looked like he was going to pitch a gem until the Yankees just turned it on, bro. What's his name? Because I had some of them. Sonny Gray looked like he was going to pitch a gem, and then he just started getting hit. And I think the Yankees can do that, man. They're just one of those teams, man. The order is just so tough to get through, man. It's just so tough to get through the Yankee order consistently. But I mean, of course, it's been done before. But me personally, I would like more Severino and a few of those Yankee bats. Yankees are bombing righties though, not lefties. Right? I can dig it. Now let's go back over the pitching for the slate, and that's the beautiful thing, man. This is the first look where, don't get me wrong, I am listening to what you are saying. The Sweatshop is talking to me, baby. I'm listening to what y'all saying, most certainly. And you're going to see my rosters reflect a lot of things that you all say. That just goes without saying. So these are the pitchers that we have we're looking at for the slate. Uh, Scherzer, of course, a guy with extremely high K upside, probably the only guy that I would come close to calling a lock on the slate. We got Severino here, priced up 11.5 in a matchup against the Oakland A's, a team that does strike out a lot. They also have been displaying major pop lately. You got Carlos Martinez here against Baltimore, a team that strikes out a ton, but they're going to be in a really good park for hitters. You've got Alex Wood, a guy that has been decent lately against Cincinnati. Cincinnati hasn't really been killing it so far. You got James Paxton here, a guy that we kind of like, has some very good starts early in the season. I'm interested to say what Jose Quintana, what Edwin Neves, our resident White Sox enthusiast, thinks about Jose Quintana, because I kind of like him in this spot against Toronto. I think I think Quintana can be that swing or that pivot pitcher on the slate, the guy that you should either play or attack. Like, because on every slate, there's that one pitcher, man, that either you should really play him or you should attack him. On every slate. Sometimes there's a couple of them. Jeff Samardzija, I love the fact that this is a 9K pitcher that we're getting with the Coarse discount at 7.5, and we're looking at him. Antonio Senzatella at 7.2 is kind of priced up from where I've used him in the past, but I still think that he can be in a decent spot. You got Sean Newcomb, our cheaper guy, 6.5K, and then you got Aaron Nola at 6.3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks away from Chase Field, where they have not been as prolific a scoring team. So that's what we're going to be rocking with. Remember, man, get in on those Bovada bets. Get in on the Betonline stuff, man. I'm gonna post. Yo, Evan, I kind of like him, bro. I kind of like Quintana, man. The dude has major K upside. He does. And Toronto has been kind of cold lately, but we know they're better at home, so we're gonna take a closer look at it tomorrow in the line drive at 5. Yo, get in on those Bovada bets, man. If you just do the leases, deposit a little something just to keep track and see what's going on and kind of hedge against what you do as far as DFS goes, I'm telling you, it can definitely save your night the way it did for me. The way it did for me. So this has been, of course, your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. I'm gonna post a couple of links to those sites in the YouTube video down in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, talk about it amongst yourselves. Ask me questions. I'll chop it up with you. The number one thing I want you to do, okay? On FanDuel, keep it 250, and on DraftKings, I want you to keep it 300. Let's get out of here, man. I'll see y'all. Happy Father's Day. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you. In the spirit of Father's Day, first thing I want to say is all the dads out there, thank you. Wonderful. Glad that you're a dad and you're doing the damn thing. You're doing the right thing. Taking care of your children. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm a dad. I do it, right? And also, I'm going to see my dad. I'm taking my son. We're going to see my dad. He lives in Maryland. Right outside of D.C. in Maryland. We're going to see my dad. So it's I'm going to do my very best. I'm going to do my very best to get with you all Saturday. I'm probably going to be traveling, but I'm going to do my very best to get with you all on Saturday. Most assuredly, we're going to have that late night show Saturday night, talking about Sunday slate, of course. And I'm trying to get to a game on Sunday in Maryland. We're going to see if there's a Nationals game in DC that we can go to and check that out. So, enjoy your Father's Day weekend if I don't talk to you already. But most assuredly, man, thank you all so much for all the support and help you've been giving me. Let's get out there and let's get this money. Let's keep it 300. Y'all hold it down, man. Much love to y'all. Peace.